Good morning, boys and girls. I'm so glad to see you today. You know that we're having a lot of fun. And today we're going to be talking about electricity and motion. And before we get to that, I want to unpack our LEQ that we've always done. So in our LEQ that we have today is how do I explain the relationship or interactions between events or ideas within a scientific or technical text? Okay, so we already know what the word explain means. And when I'm thinking about relationship, we're not talking about mom and dad per se or our brothers and sisters, all those, they are relationship. We're talking about the relationship in text, like cause and effect or problem and solution. We're also looking at interactions between events or ideas within a scientific or technical text. Now, when we're talking about events, we're also talking about things that can happen or key details. And ideas also are some important things that might have happened. Now remember, when we're talking about scientific or technical, scientific is our nonfiction. And also it is how things happen, things that happen. And it teaches us something. So when I'm looking at a technical text, I'm thinking about that it often contains a different kind of vocabulary. Like when you're using a recipe, the words like cup or teaspoon or grill or preheat might come up. Also, a technical text could be a how-to.
Miss Baxter, be kind to come and pick up your pizza, please. Push.
And we're interrupted by Miss Montero, our favorite person in the whole school. And also a technical thing, text can be something, how to make something. So there we have our LEQ. This is going to be for the entire week. So every day we'll come back and we'll just refresh our minds and go over it again, just like we do in the classroom. Okay, we're going to move on to the other parts. So we've already read in our text, we already read electricity and motion. We did that with the Neropod, and you did that independently. So now we're going to be looking over here, and we're going to look at this. Here's our process. This is the steps we're going to use, and then we have our graphic organizer. We're going to be completing event 1 and event 2 together. So we already read, check. We're going to ask ourselves, what kind of relationships do you see between one event and another? Remember relationship? We're talking about cause and effect. Between one event and another. We're also going to ask ourselves, how does understanding one event help you to understand another event? So we're going to be looking at events and understanding. All right, so when I look back on the text, the beginning it said you're pretty familiar with what electricity can do. You flip a switch and a light bulb glows. So flipping a switch is an important event. So I'm going to write down you flip a light switch. Well, the event 2 is something happens after I flip the light switch. So when I'm looking at my text, you flip the light switch and yes, the light bulb glows. But what actually happens before that? Something happens with the electrons. The electrons are doing something. They are moving. So when the electrons are moving, it's caused by that. So the effect is that. What caused it? You flipped a switch. Okay, so that is what we learned today, is that we are talking about okay, and I want us all to remember that event 1 caused event 2 to happen. And event 2 causes event 3 to happen. So you are going to be looking at event 1 and 2 that we already wrote down, and you should be writing that down too in your graphic organizer that you are going to make in your notes. So you can either create it on your notes, and then you're going to, remember we talked about it, you're going to take a picture of it, and you can either text it to me or email it to me or upload it, okay? So I need to see that you've done that, and then you're going to do the third one on your own. Okay, thank you.